Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where today we have the Kyoto Rebel Tech Amazing Yamaguchi Agent Venom. I imported this guy from Japan through Plaza Japan, and yeah, I haven't really had the time to really look at any figures in the past few days, so I figured I would do it today. That's when I'm not exactly busy anymore. And yeah, that's the box. I just spent the last like 30 minutes or so just toying with this guy, playing with this guy a little bit, watching some Papa Meat videos and just, you know, fiddling with this dude. And yeah, that's in the box. It's very, very big compared to other Rebel Techs, but he also comes with some more stuff, so. And this is not the exclusive version, sadly. I say sadly, but even if I got the exclusive version, I probably wouldn't have used the faceplate that comes with him. Even though that is cool and everything, I got it for Agent Venom. I didn't get it to use as Venom. I got it to use it as Agent Venom, obviously. So I don't exactly need that faceplate. It would have been nice to have that as an option, but for the amount, you know, that those go for, there's just no point in me doing that, in my opinion, for me at least. But, you know, maybe one day. We'll see. And maybe if I come across a faceplate that'll work, I will do that. But, yeah, and this guy's really fun. Very spiky, but very fun. He's very prickly. It kind of hurts to play with him, but he does have one problem, is that his arms don't go down any farther than this, and it makes him look a little bit strongman-ish, but it's not the biggest issue. I mean, he does have big muscles. I just do wish he could go down to a more of a neutral pose, but, I mean, Amazing Yamaguchis don't really always stay in there that neutral anyway, so you get these guys to pose him around, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it would have been more fun to have him be able to have his arms down at the side. But besides that, he's really awesome and he's really fun. I mean, you got just the best detail work I've seen on, an Agent Venom figure in general. This is the end-all be-all of Agent Venom figures, in my opinion. Until Marvel Legends ups up their game, I guess. This is the best one that you're gonna get. And yeah, I mean, some people don't like the style of Amazing Yamaguchi in the looks department or in the articulation department, but for those of us that do, this is a fabulous figure, and he is really worth picking up, and I'm so glad that I finally have, because I was going to resort to getting the, like, CT Toys, and I'm so glad I don't have to do that now. I still might get, like, the CT Toys, Agent Anti-Venom, because I really love Agent Venom. He's my favorite version of Venom, and Anti-Venom is just this figure, but with a couple things changed out. I am hoping that Kyoto does an official... Sorry, my lungs are a little shot. An official Agent Venom figure, but, you know, until then, or even Hasbro, but until then, this guy is really all I need for my Flash Thompson Venom antics to be fulfilled. So yeah, the detail work on this guy is just incredible. I mean, the armor bits are like that glossy, you know, Venom finish, and then like the undersuit, I think is probably what you'd refer to it, even though it's all one suit. I mean, it's Venom, but like the undersuit is like a kind of a bluish gray black, and then you got like the buckles and straps all painted in this nice silver. The white is this nice, beautiful pearlescent white. The eyes just pop. Ugh, it's just so nice looking. This white is like kind of the white that was on it's like the white that they used for like the Mezco Moon Knight. So it's so nice. It looks so good. It looked great on that figure, and it looks great on this figure. So I'm so glad to have such a gorgeous looking Agent Venom. And speaking of Moon Knight, that's the other Amazing Yamaguchi that I wanted the most outside of this one, was the Moon Knight, and I'm glad I have my two most desirable Amazing Yamaguchis. At least for Marvel. My most desirable DC is the Supergirl, because there's really no 6-inch Supergirl figures that are articulated. And then, honestly, probably the Catwoman, and maybe like the Harley Quinn and the Deathstroke. But yeah, there are some great amazing Yamaguchis out there. Don't get me wrong. It's just Marvel is a lot of the figures I buy because they have, for some reason, have the best figures out there. There's so many companies tackling Marvel, and there's only a few companies that I actually like that are tackling DC. So, and then the anime stuff is awesome too. I can't wait to get the at least Armor Titan. I want to get Eren Yeager, and I want to get what is it? Annie. I think it's Annie. Is how you pronounce her name. The three Titans from Attack on Titan, and then they announced the Beast Titan, which I also want to pick that up because I'm a big Attack on Titan fan, and I want those figures for the anime shelf. So yeah, Attack on Titan. I mean, yeah, Attack on Titan. They do look good, but just Amazing Yamaguchi in general just does good shit in my opinion. And I also can't wait for the One Punch Man, the Saitama. So those hopefully I will pick those up. But as of now, the three Amazing Yamaguchis I've picked up recently are awesome. I now have about 7 in my collection, and I love pretty much every single one of them. I mean, I love every single one of them, honestly. I don't know why I said pretty much. I think they're all great. They're all Marvel, but they're all fun. I did pick up a bootleg of the Red Hood from the Arkham games. I did not like that. So, yeah, now that we're done with the, beautiful, beautiful aesthetics, we'll just get into the articulation. So, because that's really what you go into for an Amazing Yamaguchi. For Mezco, for me, it's accessories. For Amazing Yamaguchi, I mean, it's the articulation. So, for the head, it's on this, ball joint up at, up at the top, there's a ball joint up inside the neck. It's like one of those ones that Mafex uses with the, bend in it. So, you can put that to go farther forward or farther back. And then the neck is also on a joint down and sunk inside there. So you do get good movement. It's kind of hard to put back in there. You get good movement all around. The sad part is you can't look up as much as you'd like to. You can kind of shift it around and get a little bit more, but you're not going to get the craziest wall crawling poses unless you get creative with it, sadly. And then for the arms, these are actually on ball joints, so you can get them out of the way when you want to get them up, up there. You can get pretty good stuff out of there. There's a bicep swivel joint up there, and then you have a very squeaky joint right there, and you can also swivel that too. I mean, if you wanted to. So it's technically a hinge and swivel, but it's a Revoltech joint. And then you have a joint down there, and then this piece is just a cover. This is just an ab cover piece, and then that's another joint, and it connects into that. So all together, you're gonna get really good crunch out of all that. Even with just the top joint, you get really good movement out of that. That's better than the Marvel Legends just with that joint. And then same with the bottom joint. Even if you just use the bottom joint, that's still kind of very good, especially compared to the Marvel Legends. So you're getting good stuff out of that. And then for the legs, you can kick forward. Well, that's a problem. With Amazing Yamaguchi, the legs do want to pop off sometimes. But you can kick forward to about there. Legs on Amazing Yamaguchis are always wonky because without using this thigh swivel, you can only really kick out to there. But then you use that to fake it. And yeah, that does break up the sculpt and make it a little ugly, but I mean, people think the Amazing Yamaguchis are ugly anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And then you can't really kick too far. Actually, you can kick way farther back than I thought you could. So yeah, you can get good stuff out of that. And then you have the new style joint they have, which is just the hinge, which is very nice. It's a very nice joint, and I'm glad. It's a lot more sturdy, I feel like. So, and then you also have the shin articulation, so you can get all the way there and out. And then you have the hinge. Well, that's actually a ball joint. It's not even a hinge. Down at the foot, and you can't really get much up, but everything else you can use works pretty well. And then you have the toe joints, which toe joints aren't my favorite, but it's Amazing Yamaguchi, so the more articulation, the better. Especially because every Amazing Yamaguchi I've ever had, knock on wood, has always been fairly nice and tight, and especially the foot joints do not get loose on mine, which is definitely good for me because I've seen some people have bad copies. I'm not saying bad copies aren't out there. I'm saying I haven't gotten any. And then I forgot to add this part under articulation, but these are on little Revoltech joints, so you can get those out of the way. And these are actually, well, these ones aren't, but these ones are actually on like pegs, so you can move those out of the way and stuff too. So yeah, this guy is cool. So accessories, let's get into those. And this guy comes with a lot. For the most important accessories, he comes with a stand. I mean, this isn't the most important, but the hands are. Comes with a stand, comes with some extra joints, comes with the eye remover for the eyes and the head. I'm not going to take any of that out right now, but he comes with extra hands. He comes with the fisted hands on the body, then he comes with an extra pair of fisted hands that have holes for another accessory we'll look at. He's got these for another accessory we'll look at. He's got the more claw venom hands, more relaxed hands, and more trigger finger hands. And we'll look at those more with more accessories in a second, because for those whole hands, I'm going to pop these accessories out onto the table, and we're going to take a look at them. Okay, and now to show those off, the other accessories I was talking about are webs, so you can plug those into the tops of these hands, and that's how Venom, most generations of Venom shoot his webs just out of the tops of his fists, and you can just do that. Or, I believe, there's holes in these hands like the Spider-Man hands have, and you can just, yeah, so you can also do that. So that's cool and all, but I'm rarely gonna ever have my Venom web swinging. Maybe web flipping I would have him do, but that web swinging option doesn't really matter all that much to me. But for those of you that matters to, there you go. And then for the actual guns, so you get 4 of these, which is nice because you get extra arms for these to go in. You get the hand, and that can just go straight in. And then you get these hands that go on the other accessories, the tentacles, that we'll also look at. And those plug into those as well, so that's nice. But you can also plug those into this like more grenade launcher looking gun, which is really cool. The hand is kind of hard to maneuver on the body, so I recommend putting the hand on the gun first if you're going to do it like traditional shooting poses. But I haven't really tried with the tentacle hand yet. I'm assuming they'll be easier because the tentacles are a lot more skinny, so I think they'll probably actually work on the figure. We'll look at that in a second. And then you get 4 of these holsters. It's the same holster, but it's just 4 of them. You can put them everywhere on the body. Well, maybe not everywhere, but you can definitely put them on the sides, and I'm assuming there's some on the back somewhere. Maybe these you can take off. I actually don't know where you'd put the second options. Maybe just extras, just in case you lose some, maybe that's the, or maybe you can put them on here. Yeah, I guess technically if you wanted to, you could put them on there. But you also get these pistols that go into them, and these are just the hilts. I don't really like when companies do this, but I mean, it's not like it's replacing an actual gun, so I can live with it, I guess, but it's just not my favorite. I would just prefer, like, what Marvel Legends does, just being able to have the gun in there. But as far as everything goes, I guess it makes it sit more flush, so that's fine. And since I got a couple of these, I can probably switch them over to the Deadpool that has 2 of the same holster, so it looks a little wonky, so I can do that, so that's cool. And then last for this tray, well, not last, but you also get these extra pouches. I'm assuming you can put them in here, but I also think you could put them in here to make longer pouches there if you wanted to. So that's cool too. So you get a lot of good options with this guy. I dropped one of those pouches somewhere, I think. So I'll have to find that. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I just didn't see where I put the pouch. I'm an idiot. And I also didn't show how the holsters actually go into the body, so we'll look at that as well. You just kind of plug them in like this, and they just go there. And that would be the empty holster option. And then this would be the full holster option. So it doesn't look terrible. It's not a bad choice. And then you get the extra eyes. These are the more like squinty eyes, the more wide open eyes, and then like the night vision eyes, because I'm pretty sure Flash uses night vision in his goggles, so that's cool to have. And then that's the first tray. You do get a second tray with this guy, so we'll look at those in just 1 second after I get this guy stood up there. Okay, and for the last tray, well, the second tray, it is the last tray, but I said it like there's multiple trays. You get all the tentacles, and then you get the gun muzzle flashes, and then this hand. This is also a hand. I'm sure you can use it on these tentacles too, but it's also a hand. So we're gonna pull these out and we're gonna look at them in just 1 second. Okay, and then for the second tray, you get these shorter tendrils, which they all look to be the same sculpt, which is not an issue because I'm actually cool with that. And then you get a couple of these that you can plug into that and make, like, you know, tendrils coming out of his back. You can plug those into his back and use them as, you know, tendrils. We will have to do that off camera so I don't snap the peg by accident, but I think if you just plug that right in, it will work. And he has 4 holes in the back, so you can do all 4 at once. And you can do smaller and bigger, I believe. Okay, that is not true. I'm an idiot. That's not true. You cannot just plug these directly in the back. You have to have them connected to the longer ones, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but I just figured I would let you know that in advance, just in case you did not want to break them by accident or, you know, didn't realize that. So now for this one does not want to plug in. So I'm sorry I'm not doing this on camera. I probably should be, but it's just kind of hard to get that in there. But you can kind of fake it even if you can't get it, but that's what it looks like. Also for articulation, I didn't cover this, but he's got the armpit like articulation joints that most of Amazing Yamaguchis have. I forgot to cover that. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that looks nice. And then I actually don't know how you're supposed to put the hands on there. I think you just maybe put the hands direct. I don't know, honestly. Maybe you can take some of the joints out. Yeah, I think that might be what the extra joints in the bag are for, is to put them in the hands. But, I mean, I don't need to do that, but I'll just show you on one of these spare ones that you can plug the hands onto those joints. So, if you actually wanted to put those on the actual hands, I guess you could. It'd look weird, but you could do it if you wanted to. They just don't go in these thicker ones, so. And then, last but not least, you get this. Well, okay, this is not last. I forgot. There is one more accessory after this. But this is the only accessory I probably have a problem with, because I just wish you got 2 of them. I don't mean to sound like ungrateful, because you get a lot with this guy, but I think I don't know. I'd probably get rid of the gun holsters, like getting 4 of those for an extra one of these, because this is really cool, and I'd like to dual wield these. But also, at least I get 1, you know. I wouldn't even know that I needed this if I didn't get any, so. Okay, and then for the last option, these guns that I showed you before, they come with a muzzle flash, and you just kind of plug that right in there, like that, or maybe like this. Yep, and there's an audible pop too, and then it just looks like he's shooting it, which is really nice. I'm glad that they included that. They are fairly loose in there, so whatever you do, just make sure you don't drop these on the shelf or anything. But if you put them in exactly correct, you'll get them pretty. They're not like loose, falling off. So yeah, there we have the Amazing Yamaguchi Venom. Awesome figure. This is a great figure. I'm very happy I picked this guy up. Yeah, now we're gonna get into size comparisons. So for size comparisons, we're gonna start off with my other grail of the Amazing Yamaguchi that I wanted. I guess he's not really a grail because I was able to pick him up, but that's what they look like. Let's take him off of his stand. That's what they look like. And then the other Amazing Yamaguchi that I love, that I have, is the 2.0 Spider-Man. I can't wait to get the 1.0 Spider-Man one day. I hope when they reissue him. I chose to get this guy over the 1.0 reissue because people always said original Amazing Yamaguchis sucked, but that in my case, I really like the original Iron Spider that I picked up, so I can't wait to get 1.0. And yeah, these are my 3 probably favorite Amazing Yamaguchis. They're really great. I can't wait to get the Carnage too, and then more of the DC. I want to get a bunch of the DCs. But Kyoto, if you're listening, I don't know why you would be. Nightwing, please. Nightwing, Ben Reilly, and Nightcrawler are probably my 3 biggest ones. And I'm not even like the hugest Nightcrawler fan. I like Nightcrawler a lot. He's not like in my top 5 favorite X-Men, but just it would work so well with him. And then maybe like a more slim down this size Venom, so it's actually a good figure. I mean, just a thought. And then I would love to get a repaint of this guy in black and white, because that's my favorite look for Moon Knight. And I would take Symbiote Spidey too, but I'd prefer to have the, well, I'll show you what looks I prefer to have. And Amazing Yamaguchi, actually. I would like this look the most, probably, just because he's my favorite Ben Reilly. This is my favorite Ben Reilly suit. And the Mafex, I have not picked up the Mafex. I probably will eventually, or at least the CT Toys one. And then there's not really that many comic book Miles out there that are good, so I'd like a comic book Miles from Amazing Yamaguchi. We have Gwen, and nice to have Miles. Gwen and Miles are not that closely related. Why are you? Because if Gwen is not that popular. I want a Miles. And then here's a couple others of my favorite Spider people. We'll do the Mafex, Symbiote, Spidey too. Just how they kind of look together. And then as far as some more Amazing Yamaguchis, the only other one I have, I have the Deadpool in packaging right now. I haven't looked at him yet. And then I have the, what is it? The Iron Spider, but I don't have the Iron Spider down. But I do have Gwen down. I pulled Gwen down just because this is my only female Amazing Yamaguchi, and she's a spider person, so I think she'd look cool in size comparison, so I figured I'd pull her down. If she would actually stand, that'd be nice. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna hold her. And then this is the Marvel Legends War Journal Punisher. And a Punisher. Oh, a Punisher would be awesome. Also a Daredevil. I forgot to mention, I need a Daredevil from Kyoto as well. I would cry. And a Cyclops. Oh, a Cyclops goes so hard. Okay, and then I have a few Venom figures we're gonna look at. We're gonna start off with the black suits. This is the Marvel Legends Secret Wars wave. And then this is the retro series, the cartoon cell shaded Peter. So yeah, that's what he looks like next to those. And then I have the Marvel Legends Agent Venom, and these guys are about the same size. And this guy, I think, cuts a better silhouette, if I'm being honest. At least in the arms. His arms can actually go down. And this figure still is pretty good. It held me over till I got this guy. And they're different in some ways. Like, that collar comes up with the spider emblem. The articulation's definitely different. This one has, like, the banding on the arms and some banding there. And they're just 2 different versions of the same character, and I'm glad to have both versions, honestly. If I got this guy first, I still would have picked this guy up, so I'm still glad to have him. And then we have, just because she's black and white, we have Julia Carpenter. And yeah, that's what they look like. And then for the Venom comparisons, I only have 2 Venom figures. Here's the Marvel Select, a lot bigger, as you can see. And then we have the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Venom, and a lot bigger, as you can see, than both of them. He can't even stand on screen, that's how big he is. I can't even pull the camera back, that's how big he is. So that's what he looks like next to them. And then a couple more I have are just a couple other mantle holders that I really love. We have Falcon as Cap, Sam Wilson as Cap, I should say. I love this version of Cap, just like I love this version of Venom. This is my favorite version of Cap, this is my favorite version of Venom. And although not my favorite version of Hulk, and I wouldn't exactly call her a mantle holder, I love She-Hulk, so my favorite version of Hulk is Red Hulk, but I didn't pull down my Red Hulk, so that's what they look like together. And I think they would actually look pretty good on a team together if you want to do that. And as far as other figures, I don't really have too many others that I think need shown. I guess I can do a Mezco. I probably should put a Mezco. There's a Mezco Cyclops, and here's the Mezco Wolverine. So that's what they look like. And yeah, that's that's the figure. I'm very happy to have him, and he's a lot better than I probably would have ever imagined, except for in the arms don't go down to the side. But besides that, I think he's really great, and I think you should pick him up if you have the chance. I just got him from Plaza Japan. I don't think he's sold out yet, so if you want to, I definitely recommend picking him up. So, bye everyone. Goodbye. Have a good day.